Oops, a daisy. I've made a right cock up there. Ignore me. My screen has now gone silly. That's it. There we go. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to live stream, live from the depths of Northampton. What have we been doing this week? Been a very busy week this week. Lots been going on. Lots of views, lots of new subscribers. So, evening, Mick. Evening, Dave. Although I only spoke to about an hour ago. Yes, so this week we've had 1,467 views. Pretty cool. And 17 new subscribers. Which is pretty cool. I don't know what everyone seems to be watching and subscribing, which is excellent. What you've been watching now. Coming in at number 3 is a then and now that I did a little while ago about Dokken, and all of a sudden people are watching it, and we've had 71 people watch it. Oh yeah, hi Richard. Yeah, I'm glad you got me list. Where was I? Yes, so we got 71 people have watched Dokken, which I'm quite amused because it was doing nothing, and all of a sudden loads of people are loving it, and they're a great band. Number 2 was retro ranking this week from Thin Lizzy. It was asked by Charles and as 76. And this will please Richard. Number 1 most viewed on the channel this week is the Sweet Albums, 97. That was great fun, that was. Over the last 28 days, there's been 39 new subscribers, 5,980 views. Your top 3 is number 3 is the Beatles at 178. Number 2, Rolling Stone studio albums, 203. And the live stream from two or 3 weeks ago, 7th of April, in fact, 231. Now, as we're nearly a year old, yeah, there's a very little interesting thing going on the birthday of the channel, which we'll keep a secret at the moment. So we've had 77,720 views, and we're now up to 434 subscribers. Oh, excellent. That's all right, Richard. Well, we're here to help each other, aren't we, really? Yeah, so we've got 434 subscribers now. We're a great little band. No change in the top 3. So Shanna Sing It Sleeping's 3299. Jethro Tull studio albums 3389, and Status Quo still 5295. So what has been? It's one good. Shall we start again? That's what was going on last week. But what's going on next week? Well, we've got some really good stuff for you. Monday, we've got a viewer's request for an American rock band called Grand Funk Railroad. A bit of American rock. So we got that on Monday. Classic album is a proper classic. We're looking at Surrealistic Pillow from Jefferson Airplane. Really funky album that is. Tuesday, album rankings. It's part 1 of Eric Slohan Clapton, and we're going to look at the Yardbirds. And I'm going to do the whole of the Yardbirds. I didn't want to leave the lot out because it features other good guitarists, so we'll have that in as well. Retro ranking. This might boost you again, Richard. I'm looking at Sweet's non-album singles. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to look at all their singles. It's pretty obvious what my number 1 is. Well, Richard should know what my number 1 is because it's on the same list that I gave him. So we'll be looking at that. Wednesday, one for you, Charles. The marathon, it's Depeche Mode. So look forward to that one. Thursday, brand new show. Then and Now has been put to bed for the time being. Got a brand new show for us, and it's called the Battle of the Debuts. The first two albums up are going to be the debut album by Iron Maiden and Saxon by Saxon, two of the great bands of the new wave of British heavy metal. Now, on that show, I'm going to do it on the same sort of format as I did Then and Now. But when it goes up on the channel, what I want you guys to do is you choose which one of them two you think was the better, put it in your comments, and then the following live stream, I will give the results. So it's me doing it straight initially, but it's down to the viewers, you guys, to choose as well. Gets you involved with one of the shows. So that's what we're going to be doing for Battle of the Debuts. Artwork ranking next week is Opeth. I did enjoy not listening to all their stuff, but I did like their covers. We'll be here for another live stream, of course. Next Friday, live album ranking. Sticking with the sort of glam rock sort of thing, we're looking at Def Leppard. Live albums, there's only a few, but I've got some really good honourable mentions in that one. And next week, we've got a brand new album review. The album comes out tomorrow. And it's Dopamine, the new album, double album by the Mighty Thunder. So I'll be reviewing that next week. Yeah, just about the B-sides. I might, because there's so many good B-sides, I might do a separate one of Sweet B-sides, Richard, because I love Sweet and any excuse to do Sweet. So I'll just give you an update on what you've been asking for, where we've got in listening. I haven't listened to any Budgie this week, so I've only listened to the 5. I've listened to the first Fanny album, listened to the debut album by the Stone Roses. Wow, what a good album that is. No, Charles. There is no zeros. No zeros. But I won't tell you the rest because it'll spoil it. Yeah, so the Waterboy Stone Roses were good. I've listened to 6 out of the 17 of the Waterboys. Shakespeare Sister have only got one more to listen to out of the listen to 3. Yeah, Charles, that debut album was an absolute killer. Also been listening to some more Pat Benatar, 7 out of the 11. Now, this band Chrome, I'm really struggling. I can only listen to one album at one time because one album of Chrome and I'm ready to do me head in. The first 3 albums are just totally mental, and I'm hoping they'll get better as we go on. I've listened to 2 Alice Cooper albums, 6 out of the 14 of U2. I'm now getting onto the stuff that I've not heard, and boy, is it not very good. 4 out of 10 of the Dio albums, 5 out of 7 for Tears of Fear for Fears, nearly done. And completed ones for this week are The Jam. I can't remember if that was you, Charles, but The Jam's ready to go. The Cure are ready to go now. We was talking about Dire Straits the other week. I've listened to all the stereo albums. That's ready to go. And my beloved Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's coming up very shortly as well. So that's all the usual rubbish. I'm just going to have a look at some things. Yeah, busy day is going to be the 14th of May because I'm doing a little thing with someone that's actually in the room tonight, and obviously it's the birthday bash and the lights start going already. Okay. Won't be long before we can do this. Let's just do that. There we go. Put the lights on. Do that. Rocky is about, folks. I don't know where he is at the moment. He's hiding somewhere. Oh, he's behind the screen at the moment. But he is here. Well, we'll do the things on the board this week. As I've been going through my 12-inch singles and that, I found some little Jeffers. Now, this one at the top is a single done by Tony Banks and Fish. What I like about it, they've swapped jerseys. That's pretty good. Bit of Twisted Sister. We're Not Going to Take It. Now, I don't know if Richard remembers this one. The 12-inch Disco Club mix. It's the sweet mix. Bit of Def Leppard, Animal. Kinda Magic, 12-inch from Highlander. And ZZ Top, Legs, 12-inch. Because we're doing ZZ Top Live tomorrow in the live ranking albums. Now, there's only 3 official, but I've got a bunch of pirate ones. I said that word, didn't I? Bootlegs. So I've got them to listen to. Oh, it's only the same. It's included. It'll be included in next week's singles ranking thing. I had that when it come out. A lot of you have watched what I brought at the record fair on Saturday. That happened to be in one of the pubs I drink in, so that was a good reason. I'm talking of drinks. Tonight, it's a Belgian blonde, hence the colour. Yeah, I could have spent a fortune in there, but I picked up a great bunch of little singles. And obviously I picked up from the makers of from Status Quo and the David Gates first album, which are great purchases. I think Wally of the Week. Oh, I've had one today. It was all in, it was done from a Russian into Spanish. Yeah, the Spanish, and I did a translate, and it's just a load of old gobbledygook. There's not been any Wallies. I don't know where they've all gone. I'm disappointed. I like doing Wally of the Week. There hasn't been one. No one's put anything stupid or had a whinge at me for putting their favourite album in the wrong place. I'm surprised no one had a dig at T-Rex. Yeah, I don't think he posts on me. Yeah, he's no put mine on mine, so I wish he would though. Yeah, I don't think no one's really put any thing. There was great response from Hearts from yesterday. There's about 60, 70 people already watched it. And I thought that one would have caused a little bit of upset because the commercial mid-80s albums, I like them, but they're not my favourites. I'm afraid I'm an old-fashioned Heart fan. I like the early albums the best. But no one's got down my throat and told me that Bad Animal should be number 1 or what have you. But I'll tell you, when we do the Dire Straits, I might get a few Wallies of the Week on that one. Because everyone will expect that the best-selling album from Dire Straits is my favourite. But I can tell you now it's not. But that's usually me. I've forgot. If you go through my record collection, and you always find that the most successful album by a band is probably not my favourite. you know, there's one or two bands that it is like Bat Out of Hell, and that's my favourite Meatloaf album. But I mean, I think my Pink Floyd might cause a little bit of not controversy, but a little bit of thing. But we all like things for different reasons. I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it because it'll spoil the show. But the reason why my number one's my number one, because it's a personal thing. It's something that brings back a lot of memories. This album. So you can't please everybody, can you? That's the trouble. Well, the trouble is there's so many people out there these days that if you don't go with what they want, they think you're wrong. But yeah, Depeche Mode. There's some albums I don't particularly like, but I haven't given many big fat zeros. I've only ever given one big fat zero. So, and I don't think, I mean, even the bottom one, it's not the low score. I mean, because I'm going to admit, I've really enjoyed listening to the Depeche Mode discography, because I only knew all the hits, and it's one of them bands that if you get into the albums, some of the album tracks are totally different from what you get on that they put out on singles. And I was quite amazed. There's some brilliant songs on them albums. I've never come across any many females that like Depeche Mode. I think one of my ex-girlfriends was a Depeche Mode fan. She didn't like my rock music though. Well, that didn't last long. She couldn't get into my rock. And to the fact that she called Pink Floyd shit. But I was listening to Echoes at the time. Am I missing something? Well, who are horse lips? Who said about horse lips? Worse than she'd ever seen. How dare. Their 50th anniversary. Okay. I've 35 albums. Oh dear. That's a lot to listen to. It's like listening to the Waterboys ones. I'm churning through them, something else. Anyway, we've had some good news in Northampton this week. Northampton's premier rock pub, the King Billy, shut in 2020 through COVID, and it stood empty. But this week it opened its doors again, and it's got its official opening. I think it's on Saturday night. So every man and his dog will go. Yeah, the King Billy has returned. Now, the King Billy it's probably where I really first started drinking when I was, I won't say how old I was when I first went in there, but I've seen some great bands in there. It's a proper bikers pub. I mean, during the 80s, where it's located in Northampton, every other pub had Trouble and Dorman, and the King Billy never had Dorman, because there was a certain bikers club that used to drink in there, and they were the security. There's a story one Saturday night used to go in there quite a lot when I was younger. And it was during the football season, and a load of Shrewsbury Town fans came in and decided they thought they would try and smash the place up, because I didn't like bikers and they called us all grebos and smelly and all that sort of thing. And they started on these lads, and there was about 20 of them, and within 5 minutes, every one of them, the glory. Well, yeah. Well, anyway, these 20 so-called fans lasted about 5 minutes because the Loopers Bike Club dealt with it. Yeah, that was quite funny. If you've seen one of the Police Academy films when Hightower throws them bikers out of that gay bar that they go in, it was like that. Someone opened the doors and they literally just threw them out on this pavement. It was so funny. Yeah, them riding them bikes. Yeah, Dave's just reminder. In there, they used to have a bike game, and it was one of them when you could go like this, but you try and do that after a few pints of some ale. Yeah, I'm so glad it's back open. I think Lee and myself will go, but we won't go this weekend. But we'll wait till it quietens down. I mean, I think the last time I went in there was to see a Marillion tribute band called Reel to Reel. They were excellent. That was just before COVID. Yeah, I don't think the old crew. I mean, I've had a couple of people from the old days got in contact with me this week, and I think we're going to sort of go and have our little thing after all the idiots have been in. Because to start with, it'll just be all the idiots, but you'll get the people that drink in there for ages. Except I did go in there once, and there was one guy in there that I knew that had been drinking there as long as I have, and I went to the bar and I got me drink, and there was these people in there, and because by then I'd just got like short hair, even shorter than this, and there was this lad. He'd got long hair and all the, and he said, this is a bit posh for you, isn't it? And I went, matey boy, I was drinking here when you was a twinkle in your daddy's eye. What do you mean? I said, I've been drinking here a long, long time. Just because I don't come in every week and got hair down to me neck now, down to me backside. I said, I don't, doesn't mean I don't come in here. And then this other bloke says, you look, this lad, and this lad said, yeah, he said, he's been coming in here a long time, just like me. I don't think the Wedgwood would be. That's another of our old haunts. They've turned it into a cocktail bar. Probably overpriced drinks. That'll keep the things. Then there's 3 pubs opening this week in Northampton again. Unbelievable. It is a bank holiday weekend, so... but hey ho. Yeah, we've started looking at, Dave and myself, I've been looking at some bad album covers. Is Rocky hungover? No. He's here. Rocky, your fans are wanting you. What are you doing? Rocky, what are you doing? Wait. What are you doing? Come here. You're being asked for. Come on. Go on then. Leave that alone. Come on, your fans are wanting you. Hey. There he is. There he goes. There's the star of the show. Has anyone watched the little preview I did yesterday? Yes, if you want to have a bit of a laugh, watch. I'll keep it up there. It's the one that says tomorrow night live stream, and the lights come on, and the first thing you hear is him moaning and groaning. He's been for a long walk today, so he's probably tired. But yeah, it's ever so funny. So go and watch that if you just want to laugh, because Rocky. Not about me, it's about Rocky, that one is. He's right, now everyone's thinking, you're going to get down? What? Oh dear, oh dear me. Eater, I'm going to put you down. Oh, no. The trouble with Rocky is if you start fussing him, if you stop, he wants you to carry on. So I shall just have to sit here and fuss him. Yes, he's yeah, so go and watch that short video. It's only about 30 seconds, but it's just a giggle. No, he's had them all. He's had them all tonight. He's had his carrot. He's had his dentist stick. So he's quite happy tonight. You see, I'm going to stop fussing him, see if he'll do what. You see, there you go. If I'm sitting on the sofa, he usually kicks me. Yeah, so here for those that live in the UK, we've got a bank holiday this weekend, but I'll be still here on Monday doing this. It's not been very warm in Northampton this week. It's blooming cold again, so the jumpers are back out. All right, I'm going to put you down now. Go and sit on your bed for 5 minutes. I'll tell you what I have listened to today. It appeared on Spotify. The two new Muse songs. And one's good, and one's a pile of rubbish. It really is rubbish. I think, I'll tell you what with Muse, they are a band that have forgotten the fans that got them where they are today. Those of us that brought showbiz and oranges of, can't even say it, origins of symmetry, we're totally forgotten about now. No, I'll tell you who has done the cult. It's on SOT, went up today. Yeah, I've got it on my list, and Stranglers and The Damned, they're all on the list. They're cut. I know the Stranglers is near enough at the top of the list now. So I'll be starting to listen to some Stranglers. My favourite Stranglers song is not of one with song lyrics in it. It's an instrumental. Does anyone know what one it is? The only I really like it because it also used to be a theme tune of a great cook we had in the UK called Keith Floyd. And he used that tune as his theme tune. It's one of my favourite pieces of instrumental music. Oh, Mr. McCook. Yeah, I love that track. Keith Floyd. He used that music. Yeah, as it's cold tonight, I've got one of my sweatshirt on advertising my channel. Yeah, Waltz in Black. Yeah, love that. I've actually seen the Stranglers. Saw them at Milton Keynes Bowl. They were on the same bill as Simple Minds, along with Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. There were 3 good bands, and the other band, they were that brilliant, I can't even remember what they were called. I was probably having a pint when they were on. They were a proper 80s band, and I can't remember who they were called. I only went to see the Stranglers, OMD, and Simple Minds. And it was a brilliant concert, Richard. Look, Coldplay, we've had this discussion, chaps. There's only one good place to put Coldplay, and that's in emergency room, in a theatre, operating theatre, if they run out of anaesthetic. Coldplay, that's all that's good for. Yeah, I can't remember. I was trying to think what tour it was. What Simple Minds tour it was. Let There Be. I know it's the album that the Real Life. Yeah, Real Life tour. Because I love the song Real Life. Yes, I am doing Simple Minds soon before anyone asks. They're sort of getting 2. They're getting 2 goes. They're going to get a full album ranking, and they're going to appear on the Battle of the Debuts. But I won't tell you which other band they will be going up against. Well, I've chosen Iron Maiden and Saxon because they're 2 of my favourite heavy metal bands. Remember them both coming out, so be interesting. Be interesting, that one will. Yeah, I'm sure Richard won't mind. Richard and myself are doing a little thing very shortly, but we won't tell you what it's all about. But we are doing a little thing, and I'm sure you'll be able to watch it on both channels when we work out, when I can work out how I can do it. But yeah, anyway, going back to the, I'm all over the place tonight. I like going back to the record fair. It's really got me back into albums and singles. What I like about going through them singles is the record labels. And, you know, all these great old record labels like Rack. What a great label that was. The Bell. I love the Bell label. The RCA, CBS. So I have now purchased a little record player. It's not the best in the world, but get some some proper speakers to it, so I can listen to my LPs. I'll tell you what I have been listening to. I mean, I'm sure you know that I like cricket, and I had a comedy album. Well, it's not a comedy album. It's an after dinner album by the legendary Fred Truman. It's absolutely hilarious. I have been sorting out my albums. I found some of my albums from when I was a child. I mean, they're a little bit battered now because they are very old and they've not been looked after properly, unfortunately. I'll go and fetch them because I know where they are. So here is an absolute record collection look at of my childhood. Let's get them in some sort of order. I've just bunged them all together. These have still got to. Now you can laugh as much as you want at these, but this is Ian's childhood records from about the age of 3 upwards. Some of these. They were brought for me when I was very small. That wasn't. Yes, I have got it, even though I hate it. But I was a Quo fan. You brought everything by Quo. The Quartet album by Ultravox. What else we got here? Tony Hancock. 2 Tony Hancock albums I've got. That's the famous Blood Donor and Radio Ham. That's the missing page and the reunion party. Yeah, a bit big. Very big. Right. Here we go. You ready for a bit of laugh? These are all from my childhood. That's still around, and I can't believe it. First one on the list. A bit of Rainbow. Not Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. Zippy and Bungo and George. Can't believe I've still got that. Now, how's this for a belter? Come to Chigley. Yeah, I've got that. The stories we got on here, it's but Simon's Chigley's theme, the Corporation Dustman, Mr. Farthing, the Balloonist pumping engine, Little Steam Engine, Mr. Swallow's Crane Song, the Dutch organ. Ah, it gets even better. Campbellwick Green. Here is a box, a musical box. Wound up and ready to play. I have got a Trumpton one somewhere. Sad, isn't it, really? Then the soundtrack to Bambi. I like the Little April Shower on this. I just love that tune. Chigley. A chilled reel, yeah. I'm going to do something very similar. Now, this album came out at the same time as Star Wars back in 1977. Jeff Love and his orchestra. Oh. Now, as a kid, I used to love Disney. So I've got Walt Disney album. Yeah, that's a good idea, Dave. We will do that. On here, we got the Bears and Necessities, Whistle Stop, Whistle While You Work, Hi Ho, The Age of Not Believing, When I See an Elephant Fly, You Can Fly, I've Got No Strings, Everyone Wants to Be a Cat. I love that. The Sesame Cat song, Chim Chimney, The Ugly Bug Ball. No one remembers that. And Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I Want to Be Like You, When Wish Upon a Star. The Second Star to the Right. Zippity Doo Dah. Winnie the Pooh. The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Great song. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. The Phony King of England. The Aristocats and Alice in Wonderland. Okay, this is Sad Time. No music, just sounds of steam engines. I'm so sad, isn't it? Absolutely. It's got things from the Icky Incline, Birmingham to Paddington, Crew. Then we've got some Spanish stuff. This is not a child album, but I did pick it up. I think Dave remembers this one. You couldn't get away with that now, could you? And there's no children watching this. Sinful songs. Sing club rugby songs that would get bombed down. Now, I mean, the highlights on here is the sexual life of a camel, the virgin sturgeon. She was poor, but she was honest. All classic. It says on here, look, that's what it says. Shower room singing. Now, this is a belter of an album, and I'm so glad I found it. Ken Dodd and his Diddy Men. Absolutely stonk. This is stonking. It's got some great songs on here. Not just it's a pretty good album, actually. I mean, it's got one of the songs on here is actually was featured in the comedy songs. Where's me shit? It's got the song of the Diddy Men. It's got Old MacDonald had his farm, but how the band got together, and he's got all the Diddy Men on it, Dickie Mint. And a childhood collection wouldn't be complete without these two. The Wombles, Mike Batt. And I'll tell you what, there are some really good little rockers on here. There's and I mean, there are some really good songs on here when you listen to them. Okay, it's all about wombling, but there's some great songs. So there we go. Ian's Christmas is Wombles, yeah. What we got on here? The wombling song, Wombles everywhere. Exercise is good for you, laziest nut is not. The Wombles warning, Tobermory, dreaming in the sun, Madame Choulet. Wellington Womble, Bongo's birthday, the Wombling song. And on the other one, obviously we've got Remember You're a Womble, Mio Allegretto. These are all songs that charted and got high in the charts. Wellington Goes to Waterloo. It's about train. Wellington Goes train spotting. It's a great little albums. You've got them all. Hey, Richard. we should do a show on ranking the Womble albums. Yeah, forget the kiddies albums, as they've got some really good tracks on. Yes, you're absolutely right, Richard. When I picked them up, I wanted to know, and some of their singles outsold some really big artists of the 70s. They were huge. But Mike Batt's done a lot of things, hasn't he, in his time? I mean, he's worked with Katie Maluia, whatever her name is. Yeah, so that's some of my childhood there. Oh, I've put this. I know I showed this on Saturday, but this is a belter. Now, I remember my dad getting this. It's a great album. When did it come out? 1973. So I was... Oh, I'll go and find that, Richard. That'll be interesting. Did they? Wow. There we go. The dulcet tones of a dachshund. He's wondering. No, what did? He's done everything. He's just moaning because I'm not paying attention to him. But that's Rocky for you. Yeah, I will. I think I will do a kiddies one. Well, I'm gonna check that out on YouTube. There must be a video of it somewhere. 2011, I was probably busy at work. I spent most of my life at work in 2011. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, I think I will do a retro ranking on children's songs. Oh, did he? Didn't know that Eugene was a bit of a Wombles fan. Am I retired now? No, not really, but that's another story. That's one of the bits of Q&A that doesn't get answered. I can't be retired doing this. This is. I may be at home, but I do this all the. That's all right, Mick. Nothing to. You weren't to know, but this is. Well, I'm not retired. This takes up a lot of time. So, but I enjoy doing it. That's the main thing. Keeps me sane. Trouble is, I've got Dave involved a bit more now. He doesn't realise. U2. I can see a big fat zero coming on a U2 album because I'm up to listening to pop, and the last album I brought by them was actually Zeropa, and I thought it was a pile of dung, and a bit like Muse, they've gone off the boil as well. Because the bands like that have forgotten their roots, they've forgotten who put them where they are, and they just churn out so much rubbish. I mean, I think Matt Bellamy is so far at his own backside, he doesn't realise he's there. It's so pretentious, one of their songs. There's no guitar riffs on it. It's all keyboard and electronic. It just sounds awful. The other track that I've heard, because I've put 2 out on Spotify, it's got some guitars in it, but they haven't changed. The last 3 or 4 albums, it's the same old. There's nothing fresh about it. It's just such a shame, because I think their first 4 albums are terrific, and then it sort of went downhill. I mean, their album comes out, I think it's in August. I mean, I have reviewed the Muse albums, and obviously the earlier ones are at the top, and the latest one I think was bottom, because I just don't like it. And I can see this one being just shoved at the bottom of the pile. I don't even know I'll buy it, to be quite honest. What I've heard to the 2 tracks are just awful. But I've heard the other Def Leppard single, and that's good. That is good. They are really going. Their music is influenced by, I think, obviously T-Rex. You can tell that. I mean, I know Joe Elliott's a huge T-Rex fan, so is Rick Savage. And it's their stuff now. That this new song, it's got mixtures of T-Rex, Roxy Music, Ziggy, the David Bowie Ziggy Stardust stuff. It's terrific. It's really nice to hear that sound again. They've sort of gone away from the the sort of generic poppy sound, and they're going back to sort of the songs that I think that got them into music. Oh, it's on YouTube. Brilliant. I will go and have a. I shall have a look at that later before I go to bed. Yeah, when I've had this conversation in the comments with Richard about T-Rex and Tyrannosaurus Rex. All I'm going to say is I'm a huge fan of T-Rex. And I like some of. I do like Beard. Was it the songs of Beards of Souls or something? I don't know. That's how much I take notice of the Tyrannosaurus Rex albums. But T-Rex, I think it's. I remember T-Rex more than Tyrannosaurus Rex because I remember getting it on coming out. I was 5 and hearing it on the radio. So yeah, that was tough doing that one though. For them 3 classic albums, T-Rex, the Slider, Tanks, and Electric Warrior. My mate Lee at the record thing, he actually got a picture disc of Slider. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, Dave, you're right. After Black Holes, it sort of went down the pan. Yeah, but they're still good live. That's the thing. Their live stuff is still terrific. And the songs off the later albums do sound better live. I think I've said this before on when I do the live album rankings. There's certain songs in the 80s, the production, you know me and the production on 80s sounding records, I don't like it. But you play them songs live and they're brilliant. It's like, obviously this week I've been listening to a bit of live Def Leppard. And I won't give it too much away, but listening to, there's a certain overplayed album by them that they do all the way through live. And I thoroughly enjoy the live version of that album more. It's got more soul. And the other thing it hasn't got on it is my favourite producer of all time, not Robert Lang. Is there anyone else out there thinks that Robert Lang is overrated and a bit pretentious? Am I the only one? I hated it when he produced AC/DC, although he did produce Black in Black. But when he ruined For Those About to Rock, he likes to, he takes so long to put out an album. That must have been terrible for AC/DC because they like to go in there, bang, go. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Mutt Lang. Was that Muse? 350 quid for a back row ticket? Nah, I don't think I'll bother. I've never seen Muse live. And I don't think I'd want to now. I think I prefer to remember Muse when they first started. I mean, I've got the Hullabaloo live DVD. It's done in surround sound. It's absolutely amazing to hear things like Dead Star and The Cave. I know, 500 quid to stand. Now, when I used to go to concerts, the cheapest place was at the front because if you go to like Wembley Stadium or anywhere like stadium gigs, the cheap seats were the ones you stood in the middle. For some reason now, they think they're the best seats and you should charge more. You shouldn't charge people 500 quid for standing in a stadium. taking the piss. Excuse my French. Yeah, expensive mosh pit. I think the best mosh pit I ever saw was at Milton Keynes from Metallica. I mean, I'm glad where I was safe, but boy, would I not want to be in there. Health and safety, I don't think they'd allow that now because of people getting hurt. I mean, I was sadly at the Monsters of Rock where someone got squashed to death, but no one knew about it. Except it was all on the news and all our parents were real worried because we didn't have mobiles in them days. Yeah, the Metallica one. Again, I'm gonna swear for the 3 times in a live stream. Our friend PK, he said, "I don't like this shit, but you do. You better come with me." I wasn't a great fan of Metallica, but I'm glad I went because it was great seeing them. And where I was, I had a great view anyway. I had a view better than anybody else that day. That was a good gig because I saw Metallica and Diamond Head on the same bill, and that I was happy. Everything else could. Blimey, Mick, that's not good. It's not good at all. Yeah, talking of Aussie, I did my last Then and Now today, and it was on Skid Row, and I was talking about because they were managed by Doc McGee. He got involved with some substances, and one of his penance was to do something. So he put that Moscow Peace Festival on, and I was talking about the bands. Remember the lineup? It was Skid Row, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Scorpions, and Bon Jovi. Yeah, that was about right for PK. If anyone's wondering who PK is, it's a friend of me, Dave's, who's sadly no longer with us. He died very, very suddenly. He was a great bloke, loved his music, was a military man, fit as a fiddler, played rugby. He went to sleep one night and never woke up again. He's been left us very young, as his 40s, and he was right. He like, you'd go out for a glass of beer with him, and a glass of beer didn't mean a glass of beer; it meant a whole load full. Now, one of my birthdays. This is nothing to do with music, but he worked at Silverstone in security. He was their chief poncho, and one of my birthdays, they used to have the Autumn Gold Cup, and Dave and myself, he got us in and all that sort of thing. We went and watched racing all day, wandered around like you do, and then we was meeting up at a friend's restaurant in Northampton. And obviously PK says, "I'll come later." And we had a phone call from him. "I'm coming, I'm bringing some people." And we said to our friend, "No, he's bringing a few more." "Yeah, no problem, blah, 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 blah." And PK walks in, and he walked in with the entire staff of the Orange phone company stand. And we're taught that, yeah, it was a bit, that bit was rock and roll. He brought, I don't know how many, well, lots of lovely ladies, and a good time was had by all. A night and a half, yeah. It was an excellent night, that was. I just couldn't believe it. PK walks in. I brought a few people you might like. Those were the days. I don't think I could do that anymore. It was like last Saturday when I went to the this record fair. I had 3 pints at lunchtime, and I wanted to go to sleep when I got back. Not used to the lunchtime drinking sessions. Yeah, so let's get back to what we're doing. So the week after next is the leading up to the first anniversary of the channel. So I'll warn you now, that week the show's all about what I like and what inspired me and what bands I like and what albums I like. There'll be some interesting ones. It's like tomorrow's classic one-off album, band called Cougar. Now, is there anybody that's heard of Cougar on here? They were a band from Wales. And they used to play in pubs. They used to play in 2 or 3 pubs in Northampton. They played in the King Billy a lot. Played at the Five Bells. They used to play, played in a pub. Now it's now a Vietnamese restaurant, but in the day it was called the Harbour Lights. It was the size of a shoebox, but they used to have bands in it. Saw them there, and they brought out an album which I brought at the gig, one of their gigs. And tomorrow it'll not just be the little bit in the corner here. I'll have the album to show you. It's a really good album, 1980s rock music. But it's not the overproduced Mutt Lange version. It's just plug in and go sort of thing. It's a really good album. And they were a really nice bunch of guys. Got to know them quite well. There's another band that, a person that was in a band I got to know really well. When I got to know him well, he was in a band called the Killer Bees. But he also was in a very good 70s rock band called Stray. I'm talking about Del Shannon. Got quite a lot of their stuff. Obviously, Del gave me a few bits and bobs as well. So we will be doing Stray, a really good band. So there's another one we're doing. But again, Stray have had more albums than Hot Dinners. I think they did reform, so that'll be good. I've been listening to some stuff that I haven't heard for a long time, like some of the Groundhog albums that you can't get anywhere. I mean, they're on YouTube, but it's a bit of a nightmare trying to play them with your adverts every 10 seconds. So that's my flirtation with knowing rock stars. There's a band that they were from Northampton, and they in the 80s they were like our version of Bon Jovi, called Ragdoll. They now live in Ireland, but they are making music again, and I'm in contact with them because I know the 2 brothers in the band. Did lots of little charity bits for me as well in the day. Because I used to work in a day centre. I'm sitting here. I used to work in a day centre with people with learning disabilities, and we formed a sports and social club. And I was the secretary of that club, and we was always looking for things to raise money. And I thought, oh no, we had a lovely hall and a stage. I'll put a concert on. Well, first year I just put a disco on because one of my friends and subscriber and Gary, he did disco, so he did us a rock disco, and it was a huge success. We made a lot of money because once we paid all the bar bills and paid that, any profit went straight into the club, of course. So we made a lot of profit on the beer that night. We had lots of prizes for a raffle. It was a really good night. And then halfway through the year, someone said to me in the King Billy of all places, "Are you doing something this year?" I went, "Yeah." And I thought, well, what can we do to top it off? Because, if we do it, I don't want to do another disco. And one of my mates was in there with me. He says, "What about if we do a gig at your place for nothing?" I went, "Yeah, we had a license, so yeah." So his band, he got hold of everybody and said, "Yeah, we'll do it." And they even got us a support band as well. So we held this rock gig. And I'll tell you what, the King Billy that night was half empty because most of the people were up at our place. I mean, we had a capacity of 500 people. It was only a little place, but they allowed us to have 500 people in there. It was absolutely rammed. So that was it. So has anyone else got any interesting stories to tell me about gigs? Like that. Oh, who's in here anyway? It says we've got 5 people. I know there's Dave and I know Mick's here. Is anyone else here? Who else is here that's not been in or haven't said anything? Let's see who's in here and where you're from. I've got 3 likes tonight. That's pretty good. Is this am I working? Because there's nothing happening. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Now, Joe has just started his own channel. Doing prog. So go and check out Joe. I'll put a link in the comments box to Joe's channel. He's just started, so go and give him some love. Love to show your 1971 albums, Joe. Absolutely brilliant. Too many to choose from that year. Excellent. Yeah, anytime, mate. Anytime. Yeah, you got a pretty good selection of albums there. Aqualung. Can't go wrong with Aqualung. One of my favourite albums. So do you just like prog or do you do the other rock metal sort of thing? You see, Mastermind Dave here, he's a big prog fan. He likes his prog music. But then again, he is a little bit older than me, so he really remembers prog. He would have been... See, Dave, I mean, Dave's 10 years older than me, so he was around when Genesis started, and Yes, and Camel, and Gentle Giant, all these great bands. And I'm sure he could think of other ones that are bizarre, and Renaissance. They're a good band. Anyway, Joe, you love your prog. Have you listened to any of the Transatlantic albums? They are really good albums if you haven't. I'm sure you have. I'm going to be ranking them next month, or towards the end of the month, beginning of June. Sitting there waiting to do. I've listened to them all and ranked them. It's just getting the album covers and doing the show. Yeah, I want to do my favourite prog songs, long songs. Van der Graaf, gold. What a band. Yeah, Transatlantic, good man. I don't know. I mean, I've done. When I've mentioned them before, all I do is said what I've acquired. But they're official bootlegs. Most of the ones I've got are official bootlegs. Or they're not. They've just not been authorised by the band. I haven't got any I wouldn't talk about bootlegs. Although I have got some good ones. I mean, like, for those of us that went to Milton Keynes to see Marillion 86, I got a sound recording tape of that. And long before the box set of Misplaced Childhood came out, I had there's a live concert from Utrecht on that disc. I've got one done at the NEC. It was one of the gigs I was at, and I've got it purely for that. It's absolutely brilliant because it's got some. Fish was on fire that night. Some of his comments were absolutely out the top drawer. I mean, tomorrow in ZZ Top, I've got one album that was done on a soundboard, and it sounds pretty good. I've got some dodgy ones as well. I got hold of them of Black Sabbath in Copenhagen. Got a Status Quo one done on the If You Can't Stand the Heat tour. That's a bit naff, but it's just nostalgic. No, I don't think there is. I've not been pulled up for mentioning bootlegs. I mean, bootlegs have been down for years, haven't they? I mean, even some bands themselves have actually released official bootlegs. I mean, the LP have. Asia have just done one anyway. So, yeah, they're out there. I mean, if you go onto YouTube now, get whole gigs recorded on phones. And there are some really good videos out there, and there's some pretty naff ones as well. I mean, you think of all the Genesis final tour bootleg clips on the whole concerts that are on YouTube at the moment. I just wonder if they will actually put out an official version of that. I'm sure they must do, because I'd like to see one. So I have watched one of them. I watched one and it was pretty good. The quality was good and it didn't spoil the viewing. Quite a decent, half decent concert. I did watch. What was I watching the other night? That was pretty cool. I was watching an AC/DC one that was recorded in America as a support when they were supporting on. They were doing their Highway to Hell. That was pretty good. DVDs, rock, well. What have I haven't got that many actually. I've got quite a few Marillion concerts on DVD, and obviously with the box sets, you got some cool coverage. There's a great one on the Fugazi one. That's pretty good. And you've got the recital of the script from the Hammersmith Odeon, which is a pretty good gig. I've got ELO's Out of the Blue tour, which sounds much better than the actual CD because the sound's a bit better. If you didn't watch the ELO one, when they recorded that album live, that live stuff, because of the way the acoustics were on stage, because it was thing they had like a backing track in their ears so they could do it. But unfortunately, on the CD, you could hear the backing track more than them. But on the DVD, you actually get a better sound. So when I got the DVD and I thought the sound's better, I did something right. I've got a program. I brought it. It's a proper. Not a hooky program. I actually put in my DVD and used the soundtrack for my iPod because it's a better solid quality sound. I haven't got any Rush ones, but I've seen them all on telly and on, I think, is it Netflix? There's a good run. And one of my favourites, and it's actually on Prime, and that's Rammstein live in Paris. That's awesome. Absolutely blows your socks off. I've got The Wall, Pink Floyd, of course. That's brilliant. I've got a couple of Quo ones. Got a couple of Muse ones. They're pretty good. I've got a Judas Priest one that was done on the Turbo tour. Oh, brilliant. Old Grey Whistle Test. Talking about on that, this DVD I've got of Judas Priest, it's got the Fuel for Life tour, whatever it was called. It's got the promotion videos. I also got classic album, British Steel, and on that is when Judas Priest first went on the Old Grey Whistle Test when they were promoting Rock and Roller. That's pretty good. I think, what else have I got? Oh, I've got 666, the Iron Maiden. You get this concert and the documentary that went with it. Got Deep Purple, Access All Areas. I've got Motherload, the DVD that came with Motherload, the Led Zeppelin. That's a brilliant. Yeah, that is a great performance. That is a very underrated album, that Rock and Roller. Don't take it as a heavy metal album. If you take it as a rock album, it's a good rock album. Yeah, I've actually got a Mike Oldfield Incantations live. I've got Delicate Sound of Thunder, Pink Floyd as well in surround sound. That's pretty cool. Yes, Joe, that is a great live album, playing the full. I am going to do because I've done Gentle Giant ranking the albums. I will be doing a Gentle Giant live album ranking at some stage because there are one or two good live albums from them. Supertramp Live in Paris. That is a great live album anyway. But the DVD, I've seen bits of that. That's pretty good. I have got Status Quo Live at Milton Keynes that I sort of transferred from my VHS. I just wish they'd bring out that, as I've said before, that package where they've remastered it and you get you get the concert DVD, Blu-ray, and the disc with the soundtrack and all that good things. Someone's got to do it. I've got the Led Zeppelin reunion as well. That's good. I'll have to do a thing on like music video DVDs. Because I've got a really nice collection. I've even got when Marillion brought out Brave, I've actually got the movie that goes with it. Because it would come out as a movie, very similar to what Pink Floyd did with The Wall. I did have Tommy on VHS, but God knows where that went. I had Live at Leeds as well. I had some really good. When I was younger, I had lots of videos. I don't know what happened to them all. And Meatloaf live, a couple of Queen ones. But the thing is, I found if they're on YouTube, I sort of watch them on there now. Oh, and I've got when I brought the Muse harp, you get live thing on there, and I've got two Yes ones. I've got when they did the symphonic live. I've got that. I've got when they brought out that Live in Leon thing with Benoit David. I've got that concert. That's pretty good. Yeah, I do like watching live ones. I tell you what, I mean, I put it in when I did the Stray Cats. If you're into Rockabilly and Stray Cats, go to the comments box in the description. There's a link to the gig they did at Brixton in 2004. That's pretty good. Oh. Yeah, it's nothing like a live show. It's finding stuff like Sweet, Mud, T-Rex. I know there's a really good T-Rex one on YouTube. I'll have to put a thing together and see what I can find on there and do the Traffic, yeah. Blood, Sweat and Tears. I've never heard of them. Have you, Joe, if you're still here? I've heard of Traffic. But Blood, Sweat and Tears, that's a new one on me. And I'm surprised I've missed that one. Being a prog. Wow. I think two of us will be checking them out. Blood, Sweat and Tears. Right, where's my list? Here it is. Let's write that down. Blood, Sweat and Tears. I reckon, Joe, we should start our own in the prog seat UK style. As we're the godfathers of prog, we should have our own prog on YouTube. The UK prog association. There's quite a lot. There's lots of people like prog. I'm not really into jazz fusion. Yeah, I know you would. No, if we could get some more. I know there's quite a few proggies out there. Yeah, we'll start our own prog in the prog seat, but call it something different. The British prog attack or something. Any of you regulars to the live stream, if you've got Zoom, we'll do it like do a Zoom thing. That could be interesting. Talking about prog. But you've got to wear a long coat and carry an LP under your arm. Because that's how it was done. UK Professors of Prog. I like that, Charles. We are the UK Professors of Rock. Prog rock. But we have to always have an LP under our arms, because apparently back in the day, I found that in an interview with on telly with Phil Collins, when Genesis first started, and all these blokes were long hair and caftan coats, and they all used to come and sit with crocs legs with LPs under their arms to watch Genesis. Well, there's so many great shows you could do with prog, like your favourite long prog tracks, anything over 15 minutes. Yeah, I think I agree with that a little bit, because if you listen to some of that stuff on from Revolver onwards, it's pretty. But there's a lot of prog on all albums. I mean, if you watch some of the videos I've done, I'll always say, well, there's a little bit of prog in there. You know, some of these obscure drum beats. See, prog drummers. I think prog drummers are the best in the business. Anyone can play a straight four, but to be a prog drummer, you've got to do half beats, play a different rhythm to what the rest of the band do. See, off the top of my head, best prog drummers: Neil Peart, one of the best. Bill Bruford, Ian Mosley, Phil Collins is a good prog drummer. The Byrds, the Doors. I love the Doors. Not so keen on the Grateful Dead. I don't think I even own a Grateful Dead album, or in all honesty. One prog band I do like, and they don't get much mention, the Enid. My mate was in the Enid for a little while. Didn't make an album with them, but he went on tour with them. He was the drummer of Ragdoll. When he left Ragdoll to go and do this, the others just disintegrated. Yeah, so he drummed with the Enid. They're pretty cool. I don't know. There's what's his Godfrey? Is he still alive? That Frank Zappa and the Mother's Invention. I haven't done a Frank Zappa yet. I've done nothing on Frank Zappa. But again, he had a huge album collection. With Frank Zappa, with me though, I like some of it, and some of it is just I struggle with. I've got a greatest hits sort of thing of it, and I must admit I do struggle with it. One of my mates, Martin, he was a huge Frank Zappa. He actually went to see him just before he passed away, but I think he come back from the gig and he had a T-shirt, was it, with titties and beer on it. I think my brother went to see them. Mark, he went to see him with him. I mean, when they said, "Do you want to come?" and I, nah, I don't know enough of his stuff to go. But we did go and see Roger Waters on the Radio Chaos tour. That was good. Talking of Roger Waters, I must rank Roger Waters' solo and Dave Gilmour's. Now I've done Pink Floyd, and look at some of the other members of the band as well. Richard Wright put out some fab albums. Nick Mason's did a couple. I mean, I've already done one of his on an album review when he did with Rick Fenn. Got an interesting one coming up soon. Doing Sky. It was sort of proggy. Although they're classical, some of it sounds proggy. A prog classic. Well, no, Dave, what do you reckon? Do you think they're a bit proggy, Sky, at times? Taking the classical elements but turning it more prog. But when you've got someone like Herbie Flowers in Sky, you're going to get something like that. And the great Francis Monkman as well. He only made a couple of albums with them, but he's a terrific pianist. And again, that band's had a great drummer in Tristan Fry. Two great guitarists, Kevin Peake and John Williams. Hello. You want to know why that is, Joe? That's my dog Rocky, who's a bit of a star on this channel. He doesn't like being left out. Come here then. He just doesn't know being left out. I'm going to look at what's his name? Joe, the guy who's in Transatlantic, not Mike Portney, Neil Morse, got it. Yeah. Yeah, he does pop on now and again, does Rocky. I think you can just about see him in the corner. He's hovering. He's a dash hound, and dash hounds are quite characters. They like to be the centre of attention all the time. Come on then. Come here then. And they're stubborn. Come here. Well, you got enough gap there. You come in when you're ready. Whoops. Knocking down the stands now. One of these days, this is going to fall on my head. We'll tell a lie. It actually has. Well, I just started recording, and his nibs there come through, and it went. So we stopped. God, we've been on here for an hour and 34 minutes. Wow. Anyway, Joe, while you're still here, I don't know if you've realised I sent you an email. So you've got my email address. Even if we start a prog show, if we start one, we'll see how many people we can get involved. There's one or two people I'd like to get involved, but would they do it? Who knows? Oh, won't be a minute. Come here. No, you're not having anything else. Hey, mister, this way. Hey. So anyway, stop. Right. There you go. We've done it again, haven't we, Rob? There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I put something else, and I thought I misconstrued it, Joe. I looked at it and thought, oh, it's just a bit of encouragement, all that sort of good stuff. Yeah. No, he's happy now. He's shut up because I'm giving him attention. Oh, sadly, I did have two, as you know. If Marley was still here, she'd be jumping up here. Or there's some there's some steps here for Rocky to get on and off things. She'd be up here and howling like a chicken. He's definitely a first pot. He's our Rocky. But you're certainly part of the channel, aren't you? Causing grief and thing. That's all he wants, is someone to rub round his ear while... Yeah, anyway, hour and 37 now. I'd love to know who the other people are. I mean, I know there's Charles, Joe, and Dave, but who are the other two? Or have they gone to sleep? Well, I know Richard was about, but Richard has to go to work, so... But Richard and myself are doing something. I don't know. I haven't heard. Mick, are you still here, or you gone off and done something and left it on? Yeah, Richard and myself are doing something very, very soon. Hey, still here. Good man. Yeah, so watch this space. We know what we're doing, but that'll be in a few weeks' time, hopefully. So we've got that coming up. Looks like I'll be doing something with Joe, which is good. I think, well, I've got an idea for a video, Joe. See what you think now if you're listening. And also I want to do something on my favourite long prog tracks. How's about that? 5 of your favourite. What are the plans for the second year? What plans? Well, I have got some. Obviously, I want to do more like Zoom things and getting group discussions on. Like I've just said, we'll do a prog group. I want to start up a web page where everyone can contribute on gigs, reviews, your album reviews, that sort of thing. I know that me and Lee have got a couple of ideas to do a little out and about thing. Like we're both big T-Rex, Mark Bolan fans, and we might go down to his memorial where it all happened, and do a bit of filming down there. So I want to do that more. I want to get out and about a little bit. Yeah, that's the other one. 1,000 subscribers. We're nearly up to 100,000 views, so we're doing all right. I know there's people out there that you know, that have been doing it as long as me, and not as long as me, and they've got loads and that. But I don't care about that. It's not about competition. I didn't think I'd get 434 in my first year. So, and I didn't expect to get so many views in a year. I reckon we'll get this year. We'll definitely hit the 1,000 subscribers. So tell your friends. Tell your friends about us. And hopefully we'll get a bit more play with airplay with other people on channels. That'll increase the subscribers, hopefully. I'd like to actually have like a little forum of UK YouTubers, so we can swap ideas, support each other, especially when we get trollers, nasty people that come on our channels and put nasty things, because it happens to all of us, and sometimes you can blow them off, but sometimes some are so nasty, you know, you don't need that sort of thing. Well, thank you, Charles. I don't know, numbers don't, they mean something to me. Queen fans, yeah. And then I had that, yeah, Charles, yeah, I did have that bloke that wanted me to be more like SOT. No, I love SOT, but I don't want to be like SOT. What's the point of having two SOTs? We're RTO, he's SOT. He didn't like my long videos. This time next year, that'd be cool. Yeah, but I don't know what they get on, what they get out of it. I really don't. You know, telling you what to put on your channel and do this, do that. I mean, I don't request a difference. So when they tell you to be more professional, I mean, what do you want me to be? Boring? I know there are some out there that have got a very unprofessional. I don't mention names, but there's one or two out there. There's one that constantly swears. I don't want to hear an album ranking and having a song that's amazing and this and that. And no, I switch off. I don't want to listen to that. That was like the first time I saw Guns N' Roses at the Monsters of Rock. I think they come out and did one song, and Axl started going. Thank you, Nick. That's all it is. I'm just a person that loves music, and I like talking about music. I mean, the presentation I liked, you know, I've looked at other ones, and I think I've got, and I'm saying this, blow my own trumpet, I think I've got some of the nicest intros on YouTube. And then for a start, the music on it is what me and Dave created on the PlayStation 2. You know, we crafted that to get, you know, okay, it's like sample songs, bits of music, but we put them together. Yeah. I try to be. I mean, I know there's some people that sit there are very deadpan, blah, 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 blah. You know, I don't want deadpan, in my honest opinion. Yeah. In my honest opinion, that's a favourite. But my favourite, if something is really bad, you know, if I say it's not my cup of tea, you know, I really don't like it. Because I don't like slating off an artist that's gone all to this time, you know. But we can't like everything. And I try not to blast bands. Might give them a bit of a hard time, but I wouldn't be disrespectful to them because what's the point in that? I don't know what he's doing now. Hang on. You know, swap round here. Oh no, Coldplay. If I ever find one Coldplay track I like, I'll let you know. Because that is one band I don't see what the attention is. Hang on, let's put his nibs down there. They're going to get on your bed or something. I mean, as I keep saying, I'm not a great fan of the Foo Fighters. No, nothing special. Some like a generic rock band. There's nothing there that really sparkles. I mean, yeah, they did have a very talented drummer, but that's it, you know. I mean, Dave Grohl's a great. I mean, Dave Grohl's a person. I think he's a great sort of guy. Comes across as a nice bloke and that, but I don't particularly like their style of music. I mean, if you're a bit younger, I can get it, but you get an old fart like me, you know. No, I do like. I mean, I do give new bands a chance, always have, but some things don't. I mean, there is one person that really annoys me every time I see him on TV or doing something. That's Ed Sheeran. Oh. He even managed to muster in on Shane Warne's funeral. Just because. And we're talking about Foo Fighters, yeah, they just shout. Yeah, just because thought he was friends with him, he had to go to his funeral. I mean, go away. Write your pop songs. Yeah, it's another band I did like Opeth. I like the new Opeth, that progressive Opeth, but the death metal Opeth, nah. I can't get death metal. I really, really can't. All that grunting and growling, you know, what's all that about? Please. It's not singing. It's a shame because them early albums, the guitar work on that is great, but what's all that about? And speed metal, you know, that real noise. I've got a stupid dog. He's just looking because it's dark now. You can see the lights because you can see the main road, and all he can see is the lights coming, and he barks at the lights. Anyway, folks, it is 10 to 10. Maroon 5. I've only listened to their sort of hits. What I'll do, Mick, I will listen to some of their stuff this week, and I'll let you know what I think next week. And if I'm okay with it, we'll do some ranking. But they can't be as bad as Coldplay. I think the only show I'll ever do on Coldplay is the retro ranking of the 10 worst songs by Coldplay. And that's the only ranking I'll ever do of Coldplay. Their 10 worst songs. Of course, how many albums have they had? Yeah. I'll do the worst song. There are some metal songs I can't stand. And some of them are big hits. I'm not a great fan of those. If you've watched, obviously you'll know what I feel about some of the ballads, as I call them, wishy-washy. Wishy-washy, give me the bucket, please. I mean, there's great love songs, and then there's wishy-washy songs. On that note, I'm going to say a good night. Because I've had a long day again. And I'm going to go and sort His Royal Highness out. But I'll be back tomorrow where we've got live album ranking, and we're doing those little boogie boys from Texas. The fantastic ZZ Top. And of course, tomorrow we're going to look at my rare album, Across the Water by Cougar. Well, once again, thank you everybody for coming in, and if you're watching this later, why not come and join us for a live discussion? Joe, I'll be in contact with you very shortly, and then probably after the weekend, we'll sort out when we're going to do something together. And everyone have a good weekend. If you're in the UK, enjoy the bank holiday. Hope the weather's not too bad. But as it's a bank holiday, we'll probably have to have our thick jumpers on. And I will see you all next Thursday. But to let you know, the following Thursday, we'll not have a live stream on the Thursday because we're going to have one on the Saturday. So I'll do all the usual stuff on the Saturday, and then we'll have a birthday bash and have a bit of fun. And don't forget, you'll need a beer for that one because we're going to discuss beer. Or any alcoholic drink. You must have an alcoholic drink of some sort. Or if you don't drink, your favourite thing. Yep. Okay, Charles, Mick, Dave, Joe. I will see you all next week. Well, I won't, so I'll probably speak to Dave tomorrow. So I'm off now. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.